welcome back to my channel. My name's Hunter. If it's your first time here, if you're not already subscribed, please make sure to click the red subscribe button down below. So if you have been on my channel for a while now, you know that last year I did a video about 9/11. I can link it up in the cards and down in the description box if you want to go back and check that video out. I had some really good feedback on that video. You guys really did seem to like it. So I wanted to do another video on 9/11 this year just because I don't think we should ever let the memories fade. Obviously, it was a horrific event, a horrible moment in history, but we have to honor the lives that were lost on 9/11 by not forgetting them. So today I'm gonna be sitting down with my mom over FaceTime. I wanted to just sit down and talk to her and kind of see like what her experience was like on 9/11, what she remembers. I was really young on 9/11. I think I was in kindergarten still, so I don't really have a lot of memories from it. So I'm gonna sit down and talk to her and try to get a little more insight from her. I want you guys to just take a moment today and remember all the lives we lost and just think about the families that were affected by this and everyone that was involved and everyone that was affected. Take a moment of silence for them today. There also will be a moment of silence at the end of this video for them, and I'm gonna light some candles in memory of all the lives we lost 19 years ago tomorrow. So without further ado, here is my mom. This is a Q&A about what your experience was on 9/11. I was pretty little, so I don't really remember too much about it.
So I'm Erin, I'm Hunter's mom, and when 9/11 took place, Hunter was 4.
I have like a lot of specific questions, so like you don't have to like do the whole thing yet.
Perfect.
Okay, well she's my mom, you guys got that. Do you remember anything about like the morning of 9/11 before everything happened? Like do you remember what you were doing?
Yeah, it was just a normal morning. I mean, got up, dropped you off at daycare, went into work as normal. Normal morning.
What were you doing when you heard about the first plane crash? Do you remember what you were doing as soon as like the news kind of broke?
Yeah, so I was at my desk working, and then all of a sudden we started getting these alerts. There was stuff going on, so everybody would stop what they were doing and glued to their computer to see what was happening. Like, is this a joke? Nobody really understood what was happening.
What about when the second plane hit?
I think that's when everybody was like, oh,
freaking out.
Real, what is happening?
Did you end up leaving work that day early?
I did, yes. So they gave us the option. If we wanted to leave to go home, we could. It was totally up to us. So I did. I chose to leave and come get you. Scary. You don't know what's going on. You can't wrap your head around it. What is happening?
At what point did you leave? Like right after the second plane hit, or did you wait a while? What happened?
I think we waited a little bit. It was probably late morning by the time I left. I want to say maybe like 11ish.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere around there. I know we were back home by early afternoon.
Okay, so you came and got me.
Yeah.
Did Matt come home? That's my stepdad.
No. So
no.
He stayed at work that day.
Oh, he stayed at work. Okay. And then did you go back to work the next day, or when did you end up going back?
I think we did go back the next day. Pretty sure that we did. If I remember correctly, we all went back to work the next day.
So then, now you're home, I'm home, I'm sure you had like the TV on. So far, like the first two planes have hit. What about like when the Pentagon got hit? Then really what started going through your mind? Because I'm sure you were already like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, because there was a lot of confusion, and if I remember right, at the time, Matt's sister was working at the Pentagon. So
yeah.
Of trying to figure out what's going on, is she safe? Very mass confusion, because I think it was almost just too much to even wrap your head around what was happening.
Yeah, I'm sure I would have been freaking out. What was going through your mind? What were you thinking?
Again, I think it was just really hard to even comprehend, because I've never in my lifetime gone through anything like this. It was just shock, and it almost just didn't register, like, this cannot be real. It's the best way I can describe it to you.
At the end of that day, after all the events happened, the towers ended up falling, what was like the next couple of days going forward? What was kind of like the mood of like the entire country, I guess?
Really somber. And it was really strange for us, because if you remember, we lived in Moon at the time, so we were really close to the airport.
Right by the airport.
There were no airplanes. We always had airplanes going over, coming and going, and so that just kind of stopped. So you have this really like somber feeling, but then it's also like real eerie.
Because it's quiet, because you hear like every single airplane that comes.
Yes, and there was just nothing. It was just...
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So do you think, did you notice like a change from pre 9/11 to post 9/11? I don't know, your daily life, just anything. Did you notice like any changes?
I don't think with my daily life, I mean, of course, in the beginning, the initial days following it, everybody was just kind of in a state of shock.
Yeah.
Just trying to process things. You know, you're thinking about these families that were affected and still at this time, like, looking for survivors. It was devastating.
Yeah, I bet. Do you think that you changed after 9/11, or did you, like, take anything away? Like, did you learn anything? Did your mindset change?
I think that I probably became a little bit more aware of my surroundings and just kind of realizing that these things can happen in the world that we live in.
That's all my questions, but do you have any other, like, memories or experiences from that day that you remember?
No, I mean, I just remember being at work and the confusion and the chaos in that day, and everybody in the office just kind of like, what is happening, and watching it unfold. You're watching it unfold.
Yeah, on TV.
Online, and it's just complete shock.
Yeah, I'm sure. Did I know what was going on? Was I involved, or was I just kind of like doing my own thing?
So we came home, and I'm pretty sure you were just kind of hanging out in your playroom. Yeah, no, you didn't have any kind of understanding of it at that age.
Did we go back to school though, like afterwards?
Well, so I don't believe that the school's closed. I mean, you were still, I don't remember schools closing, but I'm really just not sure.
Can you believe that it was 19 years ago? Like, next year's like the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, and I
like,
was thinking about that. I saw that John had posted the picture
of
the towers on September 10th. And kind of think, like, those people were just, for them, it was like an ordinary evening. Probably they were, you know, home having dinner with their family.
Yeah.
For work the next day, and then
even that morning, totally normal morning.
Yeah, get up, going to work, you know, seeing your coworkers, seeing people you know on the streets, pretty normal, and then
even for like the flight attendants on 9/11, like you go to the airport, you check in, you see your supervisor, you see your coworkers, you see familiar faces, you get on the plane, like you don't expect that to happen.
In the blink of an eye,
everything changed. The whole world changed, yeah.
And for those families, like I just can't even imagine the horror of it for them.
Crazy. Well, thank you for coming to my show. I really appreciate you helping me to have a better understanding of kind of what that day was like for you. Like I said, I was really little, so I don't really remember too much, but you obviously were an adult at the time. I feel like I got a good understanding from this little interview with you today, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for doing it, because I think, you know, you had said earlier about the time that has passed, and it's been 19
years.
It gets easy to kind of forget this, so I think it's really important to keep it on the forefront, especially from a flight attendant's perspective. Now, you're in that world, and to see how that would have affected those people.
Yeah.
People flying that day in general, and the flight attendants in general, you know, you can't even imagine what's going through their head as they're flying.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on here and talking and sharing your story with me.
All right.
Bye. Well, that was my mom. I want to give her another big shout out for coming on here. She doesn't really like to be on camera. She's up in Pittsburgh, so we weren't able to get together for this video. So I hope that the video and the audio come out good, because it was through FaceTime. I did just want to put this video out there. I love getting to hear like other people's experiences with things. I love being able to educate myself on certain topics, and I do feel like she painted a pretty good picture of what that day was like for her. Before I wrap this video up, I just want to say 9/11 was such a crazy day. Even if you don't remember it, or if you weren't born yet, we always have to remember the lives we lost that day. It was such a terrible day for this entire country and the entire world. I want to say rest in peace to all the victims from 9/11. I want to say thank you to all the first responders on 9/11, and I want to say thank you guys for watching. So I will see you guys next time.